Yeah, I know. I need a haircut. This shit is wicked. But anyways, what's good, guys? I'm back with another video. Today we're gonna be going to the homie Spencer's crib. He's gonna be welding up a new downpipe for me and fitting it up to an exhaust that I got off of Facebook. All right, so we just got to the homie's house, Spencer. This is him. This is the man, the myth, the legend.
That's good.
He's about to get rid of this whole downpipe. We got a UJ. Where we got a UJ again from?
We got it from Full Throttle.
We went to Full Throttle. Was it in Queens?
Yeah, it's on the Horse Harden.
On Horse Harden in Queens. All right, so we got a UJ. We got some V-band flanges because I lost my flanges. And then we also got this exhaust that I got off of Facebook for like $400. Basically to save money and time since Spencer's a busy man. To boil a cat back. So yeah, we're about to take the old downpipe off and mock up the new one.
Alright, so I have some leftover pieces from a UJ bend that I'm gonna, let him have here instead of us cutting up that UJ bend. So I'm figuring that the turbo sits right here. I want to come out maybe 1.5 inches straight and then come with a little bend coming up to the strut tower right here. Then I figure we kind of bring it right back, right? Bring it right back, right? And we can continue to get around that strut tower either like this or like this. And then from this point, I might twist it a little bit just to clock it down. And then I'll use this to come back around and go down in between the shock tower, not the shock tower, but the body frame rail and the exhaust manifold. So pretty simple exhaust kit. I think that's the method that we're going to be going without cutting up the UJ bend first, trying to save a lot of material because I have a lot of scrap pieces that are pretty good. K-series build, just finish up the up pipe and the wastegate up pipe.
All right, so we're about to start mocking up the exhaust pieces. Well, Spencer's about to start mocking up the exhaust pieces because I don't know anything about welding.
So, first step I like to do when I'm making the downpipe really and truly is I like to figure out what type of flange we're working with. This looks like a regular 3-inch flange. There doesn't seem to be a lip, it just looks like completely flat, but let me test it out. And there is a lip, it was just black with soot, so we'll use the one with the lip. Alright? So the next step that I usually do is I look at the area that I have to work with, and I say to myself, what's important when making this downpipe for this car? I know that the downpipe is going to be getting very hot, and I see that in the direction of travel that I have to make the downpipe, that I have to keep into account how much space I leave between the downpipe and the actual wires of the car. I don't want him to call me and say that, the downpipe burned any of the wires and I'm responsible for that. So that's another thing. Another thing, if this was a different manifold, what could happen too, when you're making your downpipe, you can make it too close to the actual gasket of the valve cover. And for these cars, that's a very common problem. So that's another thing that I kind of want to avoid while doing this downpipe. So the next thing that I kind of want to avoid is being too high. Because if it's too high, what happens in the future if he wants to install a strut bar? Or, he already has clearance issues by running this OBX manifold. So I already know that. You just got to know what you're dealing with. So, with that being said, dreamly, I would want to come up, right? I want to come up and away from the strut tower, right? Or if I could put a piece that'll turn towards the strut tower without it interfering, that would be good too, right? I may not need to come up because we're already up because of the manifold. So if this piece would work pretty fine, that'd be cool. But I don't think it would, because why? If I put another piece like this, it'll go straight into the tower. So the best thing to do would be to come out, right? To come out, to give myself some space to come around, right? And once we find something that works, it's up to us to mark it. So you gotta have your marker handy. Okay, that's one. Hold it. Okay, how's it look?
Yeah, that's good.
That's good? Okay, now do me a favor. Get the marker. And just do the same thing I did, but instead of 2 dots, 4 dots on each side, just do like just mark it straight down.
Bring it up a little bit.
That's it right there. Okay?
Yeah.
So now what we do is tack this all together. This one I'll put up here.
All right, so as you guys just saw, we just finished making our mock-up measurements. We're gonna test it out, see how it goes.
And guys, what's important is you got to make sure that you remember your orientation. I remember that this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. How do I know this is 1? Well, because the first one I did, I made sure it had 2 dots on each side of my mark. The second one had no dots, right? It can be as simple as something that has a numerical system like 1s or 2s or something. Purging in the end, you know, prevent oxidation, and we're gonna, you know.
What is back purging?
Back purging is when you send argon gas inside the tube of the stainless steel to prevent oxidation. Oxidation is bad because it is basically sugaring or something that can cause the weld joint to fail in a high vibration area. It's not sanitary. It wouldn't be something that would be accepted in food grade stainless steel, and a lot of guys don't like it in auto fabrication or motorsport fabrication. So, you know, it's something that the fabricator that you deal with chooses to do, or you guys discuss upon whether or not you want it. Some guys don't back purge, some guys do. Will it crack? They say it will. I haven't had that happen to me. Everybody usually opts to back purge just because they want it. They're spending extra money for stainless and steel anyways, and they don't want anything to happen to it down the road. And it also keeps the value of the product that you have. So, you know, you can always sell this to whoever and just tell them it's been back purged too, and you can tell them about it or whatever have you. It's like, you know, code of honor kind of thing. So, it is what it is. That's what back purging is. And that oxidation, if you guys wanted to see what it would look like, this is my test pipe that I use to test, make sure my machine is running up and good. That's why it has all the bad welds on it. But if you look on the inside, right, your weld should mimic the way it looks on the outside of the pipe. This right here doesn't reflect that, right? That's called sugaring. It's an oxidation that happens when the stainless steel reacts to, or the chromium and the additives inside the steel that makes the stainless reacts to the atmosphere, the oxygen that we breathe. So to protect it and prevent that, that's why we spray argon through our torches, and that's why we also spray argon in our tubes. See right here, it's a major gap, but over here there isn't. So this is why I would use filler rod. But the problem is now we're gonna get oxidation on the inside. Just something we can't avoid. That's why we're just All right, as you guys just seen, Spencer just finished tacking up the downpipe. We are gonna finish it tomorrow because it started getting late and we ran out of V-bands as well. So we're gonna put a V-band by the valve cover to work on it. If I have to work on the valve cover, anything in the area will be accessible. We are also gonna finish up the downpipe tomorrow as well and get it to the exhaust. So stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe.